Hello everyone, and welcome back to Steins Gate. I'm G, and things may be taking a turn for the better now that we know who John Teeter is. They might not. Things might still be sucky, but at least we know kind of what we need to do to potentially save Mayuri. But with that, let's begin. When I come to, I'm standing with my phone in hand. While I wait for the ringing in my ears to subside, I check the date and time on my phone screen. August 11th, 2:21 p.m. Alright, now I have 2 more days. As a matter of fact, I leapt twice, first to 2 p.m. on the 13th when the machine was completed. From there, I leapt an additional 48 hours to 2 p.m. on the 11th. It was my first consecutive leap, but it seems to have gone well. I immediately head downstairs to see Suzuha. I'm relieved to see that her hand isn't burned. When I explain the situation, Suzuha races to Radicon to confirm my story. After she realizes that I'm telling the truth, I take her back to the lab and have her repeat the explanation she gave us before I time-leapt. We come to the conclusion that all we can do right now is to try our best to repair Suzuha's time machine. Let's go take a look. Daru is unusually enthusiastic. I guess Suzuha's talk of attractor fields and divergence and correcting history's mistakes got his blood pumping.
Hold on, everyone.
Mayuri stops us as we're about to leave the lab.
Guys, aren't we forgetting something?
Like what?
What about Suzuha-san's dad?
Oh, right. I thought Suzuha was lying about that. But when I turn to her, she looks away. That doesn't matter now, does it?
It does too! I mean, it'll take time to fix the time machine, won't it? We should help Suzuha-san find her dad in the meantime. Right?
But when I show reluctance, Mayuri puffs out her cheeks.
Don't be like that, Okarin. You have to keep a promise.
What promise?
We promised, remember? We said we'd all look out for Suzuha-san's dad.
That's right. We convinced her to stay by promising to help look for her father. Yeah, I remember.
I know Suzuha-san has a mission and stuff, but I think she also came because she really wanted to meet her dad. Maybe she wants to make that happen.
If Mayuri feels that strongly about it, there's no way I can refuse.
Shina Mayuri, you're such a nice girl.
Suzuha sniffles.
You're right. I thought I could find him if I came to this town. I know that he was in Akihabara in 2010.
So your father's real?
Of course he is. At this age, he's probably still young and cool.
His name was Beryl Teeter, right?
Yeah, that's right. Wow, a foreigner? No, I'm pretty sure he's Japanese. Beryl Teeter is his codename in the Resistance. I don't think he's using it yet.
So that's why Suzuha called herself John Teeter.
I don't know his real name.
Wait, no, that's Suzuha.
Some daughter, huh?
Suzuha looks like she's about to cry for an instant, but she quickly covers it with a bitter smile.
He died before he could tell me.
Hearing that, I realize how hellish the world she came from must be. What about your surname, Amane?
That was my mother's maiden name. So you have no leads? Leads? Oh, there is one thing.
Suzuha claps her hands together and starts patting her pockets. A few seconds later, she reaches into one and pulls out
a pin?
I've seen Suzuha fiddling with it before. It's just a regular pin, the kind you stick on your hat or bag.
There's something written on it.
It reads OSHM *** A 7010.
This belonged to my dad. A memento.
Google it, Daru. Daru runs a search, but gets only incomprehensible foreign sites.
He was here in Akihabara, so I think we can exclude the foreign sites.
Okay, got it. He narrows the search down to Japanese sites. But even then, none of the results look relevant. Nothing.
But this has to be some kind of hint.
With Suzuha's permission, I take a picture of the pin.
Okay, all in favor of helping Suzuha-san find her dad?
I want to argue that there's no time for that, but Mayuri's right when she says that the time machine won't be ready for a while. I guess there's no harm in letting her have her way. After all, there's no point in running, not even with 2 days head start. Even if I dragged Mayuri to the ends of the earth, we wouldn't be able to escape her death. I know that now. No objections.
Thanks, Okarin!
Daru raises his hand in agreement. So does Kurisu. It's decided. We'll help Suzuha find her father.
Everyone, thank you. But I want to be clear that my mission to 1975 comes first. That was my dad's final wish, after all. So if we still haven't found him by the time repairs are complete, I think we should give up. Is that okay? Are you sure? If we still haven't found him by then, it just wasn't meant to be.
It's a relief to hear Suzuha say that. So where do we start? The pin is our only hint. We'll hit every store in Akiba that sells things like this. Maybe someone will know where it came from. What kind of stores? Akiba is full of niche stores where you can find strange and cool accessories. It's hard to sneak into Radicon in the daytime. There isn't a crowd out front like before, but pedestrian traffic remains constant. It takes us about 30 minutes to find a way in. Kurisu is back at the lab, working on the time leap machine. It needs to be complete by 2 PM on the 13th. If she's late, it could affect my ability to time leap, which would lower my chances of saving Mayuri. Speaking of Mayuri, she wandered off somewhere in search of Suzuha's father. How does it look? I call to Daru, who's examining the flooded time machine, while Suzuha and I keep a lookout. Daru crawls out of the machine. He's covered in sweat and his breathing is heavy. We quickly help pull his huge body out. The time machine is completely visible from the street. If someone were to see us up here, they might report us to the police. It's been 2 weeks since the satellite appeared, but Akiba still has tourists who come just to see it. We need to take care not to be noticed. It's so freaking hot in there. It's worse than a sauna. Spend too much time in there and I'll turn into Daru jerky. By the way, it's not gonna fall or anything, right? The time machine is balanced precariously on the ledge, but the police have hooked up support wires, so Daru probably has nothing to worry about.
Can it be fixed?
Well, I still don't know for sure, but there is one thing I noticed just now. It's built kind of like the phone wave.
That means there's a chance, right?
I said I'm not sure. I need to poke around some more. Daru, Superhaka. Everything depends on your skills now. You are the Superhaka who will save the world. In 2036, people will worship you instead of Kurisu, the mother of the time machine. It's a hacker. How many times do I have to tell you? Anyway, you have 2 days. Do whatever it takes, Daru. I place my hand on Daru's shoulder and look straight into his eyes. You're our only hope. No promises, man. And why 2 days? Well, because that's when Mayuri will die, but I can't say that.
In 2 days, the weather conditions will be perfect for creating the ring singularity. If we miss that window, we won't have another chance until next year.
Nice excuse, Suzuha. Precisely. Fix it in 2 days? That's just nuts. But if you do, you'll earn the right to a date with Ferris. Can you fix it? No problem. Great. Now I just need to figure out how I'm going to convince Ferris. OSHM ***A7010. We're searching for something with the same cryptic logo as this mysterious pin. Honestly, I didn't think it would be this difficult. Akiba has plenty of niche stores, but they're all for electronic goods and PC parts. There aren't that many selling accessories like Suzuha's pin. We check everyone we can find, but come up empty-handed. None of the store employees have any idea where it came from either. We even check nearby neighborhoods like Ueno and Asakasa, I think. Nothing. Suzuha and I return to the lab with heavy hearts.
Welcome back.
Kurisu emerges from the development room to greet us. She's alone.
From the looks on your faces, I guess you didn't find anything.
Where's Daru?
He hasn't come back yet. It's already dark, so maybe he went straight home?
It's too dark to work at Redicon now. We can't use lights because that would be too conspicuous to the people below. Mayuri isn't around. Is she making any progress in the search for Suzuha's father?
I feel bad. There's no time for this.
It's not for you. We're doing it to save Mayuri.
Yeah.
I start up Daru's computer and search the net for communities of people who collect unique pins. I'll investigate tomorrow based on the information I find. There's a pin collecting group on a site called Frepara where everyone shows off their collections. I post there asking for information. I'm sleeping on the couch when a loud alarm rings in my ears. Is it CERN? I jump up and see Kurisu and Suzuha. Kurisu is holding her phone. That's the source of the sound.
Good morning.
Her sour expression says that it's not good at all. I wish she'd put herself in my shoes and see what it's like to be woken up suddenly like that. I check the time on my phone. It's just before 7 a.m. You came to wake me up? Thanks.
I didn't do it for you. I asked her to wake you up, Okabe Rintaro. There's something I wanted to show you.
I realize that there's a strange object sitting on the table in front of me. What's this?
A divergence meter. The numbers indicate the divergence value of the current world line.
The meter displays 0.337187%.
Divergence is measured from my original world line, which corresponds to 0.
You made this?
No, I brought it with me from 2036.
These are Nixie tubes, right? Whoever made this is taste. I'd happily dub it Feature Gadget number 9.
How exactly does it work? It shouldn't be possible to measure changes like that.
Suzuha shrugs.
I don't know either.
You don't know?
Can you guess who made it?
How should I know?
You did, Okabe Rintaro.
Huh?
You made it, 11 years from now. It apparently works the same way your special power does.
Huh.
So this meter lets other people check world line divergence? I wish. I'm pretty sure only Okabe Rintaro would notice if the number changed. What? Then there's no point. Make something useful for once, Okabe.
I ignore Kurisu's complaints and look at the meter again. This is something I made. 15 years have passed since I completed it. 11 years will pass before I complete it. It's a strange feeling.
Only the person who made it now...
Oh, boy.
Only the person who made it knows how it works. Wait 11 years. I'm sure he'll have figured it out by then.
Have you met me in the future? She did say I was an infamous terrorist in 2036. For some reason, Suzuha's expression darkens momentarily.
No, never.
Oh. So, why are you showing me this?
When the meter reads over 1%, you've made it to the beta world line.
1%?
Right. Reach 1% divergence and you'll save Shina Mayuri.
I stare at the glowing red numbers. They don't budge. Just another 0.6%. It seems so easy. But there are 6 digits after the decimal point, and no tens place. What does that mean? Something tells me it won't be as easy as it looks.
You can have it. No point in me carrying it around. I hope you'll find a use for it.
Based on recommendations from the BBS thread, I spend the morning visiting stores in Akiba. My destinations run the gamut from otaku stores packed with anime goods to souvenir shops full of Olympic memorabilia. I even visit a few that specialize in locally manufactured goods. But although I hit just about every kind of store that could be considered niche, I am unable to find anything that resembles Suzuha's pin. Maybe I should go all the way to Ikebukuro or Nakano. I start heading back to the lab, but just then, a street vendor catches my eye. The storekeeper is a foreigner covered in tattoos. The table next to him is covered with accessories and other fashion items. It is the first time I've seen such a stylish street stand in Akiba. Most vendors just sell random junk. It's not like I have anything to lose, so I walk over and check out the selection. Among the various accessories, I see a number of metal pins. What a coincidence. Could he have a pin like Suzuha's? I don't see the OSHM *** A7010 logo on any of the displayed accessories, but I'd better ask just to be sure. He's a foreigner, so maybe I should use English? Our eyes meet. His are as bright and blue as the sky. I quickly look away. Damn, he must think I'm a coward. Better get this over with. Hey, master! I am mad scientist! It's so cool! Son of a bitch! Can I help you? He smiles a wide, toothy smile. Nice teeth, and answers in Japanese. I was hoping for more of a reaction. I have a question, if you don't mind. I take the photocopy of Suzuha's pin out of my pocket. Does this look familiar? The man stares at it for a while, then shrugs and shakes his head in the exaggerated manner typical of Westerners. I want to know where it came from. Can you help me find out? Remember? Sorry, it's a little difficult, What is he saying? By the way, where'd you get this thing? That's what I want to know. I'll compensate you. I'm sorry. He apologizes in broken Japanese. It looks like this is another dead end. Just in case, I give him my contact information and ask him to get in touch if he finds out anything. Then I turn to leave. Akabe Rintaro. Suzuha's standing a short distance away. She's holding a drink. It's my favorite, Dr. P. No wait, that's cola. Sup? Want a drink? I accept the offer and quench my thirst while leaning on the roadside fence. Last time I saw her, Suzuha was on her way to Kanda to continue the search. How long has she been standing here? Anything? Nope. So what was with your English back there? It sounded dumb. So cool! Is that standard English in this era? Of course not. Oh, so it's an Okabe Rintaro original. There's no overseas travel in my time, so I wouldn't know. No overseas travel? What? You mean at all? Pretty much. Travel permits are hard to get, and they'd never issue one for a vacation. I'd never seen a foreigner before coming to this time. So in the future, no one is allowed to leave Japan? Japan was like that a few centuries ago, too, when the Tokugawa shogunate closed the country to the west. It sounds like CERN set international relations back hundreds of years. Perhaps that's why there's no war in Suzuha's time. It's hard for conflicts to emerge within races and cultures can't interact. It sounds kind of like a prison with invisible walls, guarded by CERN and the Committee of 300. I mean, ending war is obviously a good thing, but... Anyway, there's no point in thinking about the distant future now. We need to come up with a new plan. The sunlight beats on my head, making it hard to think. I feel like I'm standing in a sauna. Why does the sun hate me so much? Shining in the center of the sky like he owns the damn place. Damn it, why can't we find any information on that pin? I suppose it's no skin off my back if we don't find Suzuha's father. As long as Daru fixes the time machine, nothing else matters. So why do I feel so bad about my lack of progress? I really don't know. Maybe I'm just frustrated by my own powerlessness. I can't save Mayuri. I can't fix Suzuha's time machine. I can't even help Kurusu with the time leap upgrade. So what am I good for? The only thing I can do is help Suzuha find her father. Maybe this pin is newer than we think. I mean, maybe it hasn't been made yet. Suzuha stretches, then looks at me with a calm smile. Maybe I'm not meant to meet him. I mean, we've tried everything and still no sign. It's just not in the cards, I guess. I feel a surge of anger at her words. Here I am stewing in self-loathing, and she acts like it doesn't matter? How can you give up? We still have one more day. Why are you getting mad? Everyone's fighting for you, don't you get it? Me? I want to prioritize Mayuri over everything else. But you're still but you're still a lab mem, a friend. When a friend's in trouble, you want to help them. That's how Mayuri felt, and I agree. That's why I'm searching. So how dare you be the first to give up? You don't have to yell. Don't disappoint me like this. I tell myself to calm down. This is just my own feelings of impotence boiling over. There's no time for this. I'm sorry, but maybe you should think about how I feel. I realize that we have an audience. Some pedestrians are grinning at us, like they think we're a bickering couple or something. I take a deep breath. You're right, I shouldn't have said that. It's too awkward to make eye contact, so I look around, pretending to think. Alright, what's next? I wonder how the other lab mems are progressing. I'm especially concerned about Daru. Depending on the situation, he might need some relief. He's been working in that heat for hours, so we should bring him something cold to drink. And then there's Mayuri. She's been working alone, trying to find information on Suzuha's father. If I close my eyes, I can still recall her deaths in every detail. I resist the urge to pound my head against the wall. Although we still have over 24 hours before that happens, I can't help but worry about leaving her alone. But currently all I can do is search for that pin. We decide to try Ikebukuro as our last stop for today. It would be nice to visit home, but I don't have the time, and besides, Suzuha's with me. Our search turns up nothing. As the evening wears on without a single lead, Suzuha and I grow quieter and quieter. We're exhausted from walking, and we can't shake the feeling that all our efforts are futile. This isn't good. By the way, I try stirring up conversation. I should get her to talk about the future. After all, she is a time traveler. It is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. I remember how shocked Kurusu was to learn that she only lives to be 44. And I was told that I'd become a terrorist. Am I really famous in 2036? As a terrorist? Oh. So what did I do to be called a terrorist? You rebelled against CERN. You're actually one of the founding members of the Resistance, just like my dad. I helped found the Resistance. I guess it makes sense, given what we're going through now. Suzuha is from the future of this timeline, where Mayuri is doomed to die, and where CERN forces Kurusu to build a time machine. In such a future, how could I not rebel against CERN? Rebellion against the system, destruction of order, a new age of chaos. Weren't those my ambitions as a mad scientist? How stupid. Stupid? How can I still be chasing some Chunibyo fantasy when I couldn't even save Mayuri? You're fighting to free humanity. I think it's a noble cause. Suzuha is part of the resistance I form. Does that mean she's my subordinate in the future? What sort of man am I? Suzuha's expression darkens. I said we never met, remember? Never? Never. You were killed by CERN in 2025. I was killed by the same people who killed Mayuri. They had no reservations about murdering an innocent girl. I doubt they would hesitate to kill a terrorist. Maybe I should have told you sooner. Understand? If you don't change the future, you're going to die in 15 years. Shina Mayuri will die. You will die. Makise Kurusu will be a slave to CERN. It ends badly for every lab mem. What about Daru? I don't remember hearing about him. I have heard legends of a wizard-class hacker, though. Though I don't understand what wizard-class means in the first place. Wizard-class. I coined that term. I can imagine Daru slowly insinuating himself into every corner of the internet until he becomes a godlike virtual presence that not even CERN can comprehend. Anyway, I don't want that to happen to you guys. That's one more reason I need to find an IBN 5100 and change the future. Until I came to this time, you guys were just stories, history, but now you're my friends. I want to save you. Appreciated. You are a lab mem, now and forevermore. Thanks. Assistant, question. Are you sure I Sorry, that's not her voice. Are you sure I can finish the time leap machine in a day?
We still haven't found our lifter substitute, remember? I can't complete the upgrade without it.
I already told Kurisu that I was confident in her ability to complete the machine on time. But it occurs to me that I forgot to tell her about the 42-inch CRT. Our lifter is the 42-inch CRT downstairs. The electrical discharge phenomenon occurs when it's turned on, so don't worry about it, just finish the upgrade. There, that should do it. I send a reply and decide to keep searching for the pin with Suzuha just a bit longer. Time is quickly running out. Is there anything more that we can do? It's early evening, but the roof of Radikan is still hotter than hell. When I provide Daru with the refreshing gift of Dr. P, a frown appears on his sweaty face. You're supposed to give me an ice cold 0-calorie cola. Common sense, man. I forgot he's a cola guy. No sense letting it go to waste. I drink the Dr. P myself. Daru and Suzuha start discussing the time machine. Mayuri and I watch from a short distance away.
Hey Okanin, isn't it amazing that the satellite was a time machine?
Yeah, I guess so. I thought that Teeter's time machine was a car, a 1970s Chevy. It never even occurred to me to suspect the satellite. I should know better than to take anything for granted. In retrospect, the satellite was suspicious from the start. Not only had it appeared out of nowhere, but Teeter only started posting afterwards. I'm disappointed in myself for not realizing the connection.
I'm glad Suzuha-san wasn't hurt in the crash.
I doubt it was anything like a crash. It probably just appeared there, displacing the wall, which then collapsed around it. After all, the time machine isn't self-propelled. It doesn't fly.
I heard it's really hard to drive.
I guess you heard that from Suzuha.
If the gravitational whatchamacallit coordinates are just teensy bit off, the whole time machine becomes a jelly man and goes bloop! And she even said her time machine's unstable since it's not a CERN model. I'm worried about her trip to 1975. Do you think I should go with her? I wonder if I'd fit.
What would you do in 1975?
I'd cheer Suzuha-san on, of course. I'd hold her hand super tight and tell her that everything's gonna be okay.
Something tells me that won't be much help.
Hey, okay, do you think the time machine has a name?
A name? That's the least of what I want to know about the time machine. Time permitting, I'd like to spend a whole day picking Suzuha's brain. I'm pretty sure John Teeter's time machine had a model number. But the John Teeter from 2000 might not have been Suzuha. There was no John Teeter in 2000 on this world line, after all. Although, I suppose it's possible that Suzuha will drop by 2000 after traveling to 1975. If you want to know, just ask Teeter.
Oh yeah, Maishi didn't think of that.
Mayuri giggles, then runs off to talk to Suzuha. She comes back quickly.
Yep, it has a name.
What is it?
FG204 something something, she said.
Something something.
Anyway, don't you think Daruku and Suzuha-san are a good match?
Huh? Mayuri's jumping all over the place today. I look at Daru and Suzuha again. How do you figure? Daru's all about Ferris, you know?
Oh, really?
She tilts her head to the side. Good grief. Mayuri and I aren't of any use. I'd prefer to leave Daru and Suzuha to it and resume the search for Suzuha's father, but Mayuri seems happy just sitting here. We don't have any leads on the pin or its owner. Maybe 2 days just aren't enough. No, that's quitter's talk. Like I told Suzuha, I don't want to give up. Besides, even if we don't get the information we need this time, I can use the timely machine to repeat those 2 days until we do. Oh yeah, Mayuri, what happened to your costumes? There's only a few more days until Komima. I remember Mayuri pulling all-nighters to get her costume done. Has that changed?
I already made 2 costumes, one for Kaede-chan and one for Fubuki-chan.
Weren't you making a third one for Rukako?
Yeah, I was, but I couldn't convince her, so I gave up this time. Hey, can Mayushi take a closer look at the time machine?
Just don't get in their way.
Okie dokie!
Mayuri beams happily, then runs over to the time machine. She's acting like this is a field trip. Behind her, the sun glows dark and orange on the horizon. It's quite a view from up here. After a few minutes watching the sunset in silence, I realized that Suzuha is standing beside me. She must have come over as Mayuri left. Our shadows are long and murky.
Hashida Itaru's amazing. He said if things go well, he could have the time machine fixed by tomorrow.
He's a man who gets things done.
And he looks so unhealthy and slow.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, I have a better impression of him now. Hey. There's something I want to say, and I feel like I'll never get another chance.
Why so melodramatic?
I'm really grateful to you, all of you. When I came to this time, I didn't know anyone. I was all alone in a world completely different from my own. This era is so peaceful. That's a wonderful thing, but it scared me. All I knew was the fight against CERN. But now I have friends, real friends, who I can share my secrets with. All these people who lived before I was born are working so hard for my sake. It's a strange feeling, but a happy one too. I wanted you to know that.
Suzuha's tone is wistful. Why? I try to speak, but she continues before I can.
Living with you guys in this time, it's been really fun. When I met you, you were all so strange and unique and over the top. I was kind of shocked at first, actually. Before I knew it, I started to enjoy spending time with you. 2036 is peaceful too. People don't even fight anymore. Did you know that?
How could I? I'm not even alive in 2036, right?
Oh, right. Sorry. Anyway, people don't fight. Ever. About anything. All forms of conflict, war included, have vanished. Poof. Without a trace. Instead, everyone has dead eyes, like fish. No one has ambition. Nobody dreams. They just trudge through their lives without a single complaint. Oh sure, people smile, but they never get angry or sad. There's no individuality. Everyone's a robot. You got really mad at me before, remember? I was really surprised, but at the same time I was really happy.
You're a strange girl.
I guess so.
Suzuha looks at the time machine. Daru and Mayuri are standing next to it, talking cheerfully about something or another.
You're all so bright and full of life. I envy you. Shina Mayuri, Hashida Itaru, even Makise Kurusu, and of course you.
Don't be ridiculous. There's nothing enviable about me. I'm worthless. I can't even save Mayuri.
I want to be more like you.
If you ask me, you're the amazing one.
I'm happy to hear you say that. It's thanks to all of you that I'm still going strong. Being a lab mem, even for just a little while, was great.
She smiles then, a soft, sad smile that tears at my heart. What does it mean?
Being with you guys, even for just a little while, was great.
Suzuha?
Change the future, Okabe Rintaro. Make it a world like this one, where people can be free.
Hey, come on. Why are you being so sentimental? Does she not want to go to 1975? But I mean, she's got a time machine, so can't she just come back afterwards? Even as I think it, I realize how wrong I am. Of course. When Suzuha completes her mission and brings us the IBN 5100, the world line will change. The future will be rewritten, and the 2036 she knows will cease to exist. To hear her describe it, the future is an awful place, but even so, it was her home. She has friends there, I'm sure, comrades in arms, and memories of her father, Beryl Teeter. And all of that will be lost to her forever. No wonder she's getting sentimental. After we fix the time machine, let's have a party.
Thanks.
And yet, she's still smiling that sorrowful smile. Afterwards, I hit the streets again in search of the pin. But the day ended without a single lead, so I reluctantly returned to the lab and tried searching the internet. A couple of hours later and still no luck. So far I've accomplished absolutely nothing. My frustration is mounting. I can time leap again, but will that really help us find Suzuha's father? An unfamiliar number. Who is it? It's me. Hi, Mr. Okabe Rintaro? The voice is heavily accented. I can barely make it out. Who is this guy? CERN?
I jump to my feet and scan the room, then run to the window and check the road below. No suspicious figures in sight. Kurisu comes out of the development room and gives me a questioning look, but I wave her back inside.
CERN? What is that?
I gulp and carefully choose my words. Identify yourself.
You, one more afternoon, came to our factory make inquiry and told me your telephone number, you know?
What are you saying? No, wait. I've heard this broken Japanese before. The strange Japanese filters through my brain, connecting synapses. That's right, it's that foreign street vendor I met this afternoon in Akiba. Identified.
Nice to meet you!
Oh, you're welcome.
I do custom work. Yesterday night, a guest come here, I remembered. That guest was please make pin badge, same one you had?
I don't quite get what he's saying, but he seems really excited about it. I'll head there right now. I go to the same spot as before. Although his stand has already closed, the Westerner is waiting for me.
Oh, Okabe. Hello.
Where'd that guest of yours go?
Blank came here was yesterday time.
The blue-eyed white man shrugs his shoulders. So it was yesterday. He contacted me because he remembered. What's his contact info? His name and address?
Poison. Guess just for simulation. Private information have nothing.
So last night somebody came by wanting to make metal pins with the same design as Suzuha's. But he died of poisoning? Or the guest was just a simulation, so there's no private information? I'm not following.
Japanese, very studious in awarding private information. Become nervous and serious, yes?
That doesn't help.
If guest had gave name or telephone number, however, no leak. That's business.
Fatigue suddenly weighs down on my shoulders. I don't understand a word he's saying anymore. My head is full of question marks. In hindsight, I should have brought Kurisu to speak English for me. I guess I'll just have to wing it. What did your customer look like? Man? Woman?
Well, so young, or so middle. Japanese have young face. Just by look, no understand.
Anything else?
Maybe a judo fighter or pro wrestler.
What? Judo? Pro wrestler? What do you mean by that?
Yes!
That wasn't a yes-no question. What the hell do you mean?
Balloon. Was balloon.
Balloon? Judo? Pro wrestling?
Good.
No, not good. Are you trying to confuse me? I want to ask more questions, but the foreigner suddenly sees a policeman walking by and runs off. I considered chasing him, but decide against it to avoid police attention. I give up. The search has hit a dead end, and we have barely any time left to find Beryl Teeter. I can time leap again starting at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Looks like all I can do is wait until Christina's done working, and then leap to the time this suspicious character appears at the stand. Kurisu carefully connects the two cords she's holding. Done. The time leap machine is complete. It's 2:30 p.m. on the 13th, about 20 minutes later than before. Kurisu walks into the lounge with a satisfied look on her face. It's just her, me, and Suzuha in the lab. I had Daru and Mayuri head to Radikan, ostensibly to work on the time machine. So that's the time leap machine. Suzuha gazes at the now complete machine in awe. I've already explained to her how time leaping works. It's as different as can be from Suzuha's time machine, which can physically displace actual bodies. It makes you remember the future, right? That's pretty interesting. Suzuha crosses her hands behind her head and looks up at the ceiling. Intuition, sixth sense, deja vu. I wonder if those things are actually you recalling future memories. Some of CERN's researchers in my time came up with the theory that memories are a way of sharing information across world lines. Maybe it's similar to that. I just wish we knew more about Okabe's reading Steiner thing. Is it unique to Okabe, or does everyone have the potential for it and Okabe is just stronger by coincidence? One thing's for certain, my consciousness leaps to the past along with my memories. I still don't understand why that is. It would make more sense if you experienced a change in the present, like you do when we send a D-mail. Does your consciousness depend on your memories? The problem is that consciousness doesn't have a form that we can see. Same goes for the soul. Those things are still in the realm of religion. Even in 2036, the existence of the soul hasn't been proven, and nobody's proven what forms consciousness either. I see. That's a little disappointing. Sending my consciousness back has... Good gracious, I am having difficulty reading the word consciousness, apparently. Sending my consciousness back has let me change some future events with more precision than D-mail, but other events are locked in by convergence. I can change the method of Mayuri's death, but never the fact that she dies. That's not how it works. The future is always determined. Then why is the path there change? Because the world line changes. When you leap into the past and take different actions from before, divergence changes, if only a little bit. In most cases, that fluctuation won't amount to more than 0.000001% on the divergence meter. Small changes might not register at all. When you change the cause, the effect merely shifts to a separate, already existing world line. Since those two world lines are almost exactly the same, you barely feel any difference.
So is that why reading Steiner didn't react?
It's not like the previous world line disappears, it keeps existing as another possible world line. That's the many worlds interpretation, right? In any case, they're not parallel worlds.
So is the future reconstructed?
I guess you could say that.
I'm confused again. Maybe it's impossible for me to fully understand the structure of the universe. Anyway, that's enough discussion. It's time for me to leap again. I explain the situation to Kurisu and have her activate the time leap machine immediately. And I think that that is a pretty good place to cut it. We are starting to zero in on who might know about the pin that has something to do with Suzuha's father, and we might be able to send Suzuha to the past to change things in 1975. But that remains to be seen. So thank you all so much for following my playthrough of Steins Gate, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now.